Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Futbol on full heel.
Yeah.
Yo.
Episode 16. This is the 16th time we're coming at you. By we, I mean me,
Sweet
Frankie.
16.
I got the boys, Andres, Johnny, Donkey Tron,
Yo.
the CEO of the Full Heel Network, as usual, letting us get the keys to the studio here, do our little thing. But yeah, if you guys are into footy, you guys came to the right place. If you guys know anybody who likes to talk football, who likes banter, put them on. Put your people on. We like some interaction. Let us know what you think. Give us your opinions. Who knows? One of you may get lucky and get to come on the show. Get to talk. Maybe. But yeah. Picks last week. Every week we pick 6 games. We start with who won last week's picks. Out of the 6 last week, actually only 5 of the games happened. Juve versus Inter in the Italian league was postponed because of the coronavirus outbreak in Italy. Scary shit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So that one obviously didn't happen. But Johnny had an amazing week. He went 4 out of the 5 last week, making a strong comeback. Andres and I had 2. So now Andres and I are still tied at the top with 16, but Johnny's now 1 behind us on 15. So things are tight.
Right behind, right?
Things are tight. The accuracy here improving, as you can see, I guess. And we'll make 6 more at the end of the show. But just in case you were wondering, if anybody knows what a quiniela is for Mexican soccer, that's why I don't do one, because it's all over the place. The Mexican league is its own special thing, but yeah, it's just I don't want to spend all my money. But yeah, 2 big things that we're going to spend our time talking on today. We're going to touch a base on a little bit of everything as usual, but 2 big things. I guess I'll start with the first. Liverpool finally suffered their first league defeat, tying Chelsea, my fault. Manchester City's record of 18 consecutive wins. They finally lost, and they lost to Watford, at Watford, 3-0. It wasn't just that they lost 3-0 to Watford, one of the basement dwellers in the Premier League. They just climbed out of the relegation zone with that win. So
yeah, they're in 17th place as you see it on the screen.
I mean, again, I think the scoreline was surprising, but we knew at some point it was going to happen, right? It's really hard to go invincible in modern football, or undefeated rather, right? So we knew it was going to happen, but I think my general question is, what happened in this game, and does it point to a larger trend? Because this now is, like Rafa was saying, 3 out of 4, right? 3 losses out of the last 4. So is this just their bad patch, right? After every good patch, you got to have the bad patch. Is there just the bad patch? Are there signs to be concerned with going into the Champions League this week, right? Crucial matchup.
And they're not getting any goals.
Now they're out of the FA Cup, right? After that, they lost in the FA Cup as well to Chelsea. Adrian, backup goalkeeper, gave up a goal. And then Ross Barkley, of all people, scored for Chelsea. So it was not a good week for Liverpool.
I don't know if they took that game seriously, though.
Well, okay. First answer, I mean, I would agree, right? The
Which I don't know why they didn't.
Priorities lie elsewhere, but what's the problem? And is there a problem, and what is it? And is it a big problem? I know you guys, collectively we had a lot to say about it. Let's hear it.
I
want to hear it.
I think you just have to look at the midfield that they're fielding out here. 2 of those games they tried Oxen. The other game they tried Naby Keita, but their main player that they're missing is Henderson. I'd say
that crucial.
Yeah, he does everything. He runs. He gets up a little bit higher nowadays, but he's still a rock. Right in front of the back 4. Like, they kind of anticipate him to do what he has to do, and I don't know if people are just lost in the mid now that they're trying to attack.
Well, the captain.
Yeah, he's the captain, so I feel like he's a major reason why they're on this little loss of momentum. But I don't know.
So it's just a rough patch?
It should be. It should be a rough patch.
I don't know. I think contrary to what what we were thinking was that this was an easy game for them, that they should have just won. And because when you look at their schedule, they really didn't have a hard game until the City game, probably, to be honest.
In the league.
Yeah, maybe Everton, and that was when we were already counting our ducks before they hatched or whatever, chickens.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, it's kind of how what Andres, what I want to say, bitch has kept saying, like, coming off the break was kind of hard for them. They lost momentum. Then the defeat to Atletico, and then Henderson got injured, and then the forwards haven't been scoring, and they just been a little bit out of rhythm. So I think it's a combination of all that, where now it's easy to kind of say yeah, and it's just, I think it's tough mentally for them, just because they hadn't lost in forever. I mean, they lost in the Champions League and maybe I think a random English game for like some against Aston Villa or whatever, but
for the Carabao Cup, yeah.
Yeah. So
teams are also, parking further back. They're kind of seeing that, these Liverpool's struggling to score goals if they, kind of sit back and wait for something.
Parking the bus.
Yeah, they'll have trouble. I mean, Liverpool never addressed the mid player where the one that was like creative and can dribble, kind of set people up. But I mean,
I'm more with Frankie. What do you say about that usually, Frankie? That's not what Klopp is even looking for, or the way they play.
Yeah, he's all about.
But you still need that option off the bench, I feel.
Well, you got to have some variety, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like I was trying to argue with you, I think and then this may be really oversimplistic, but I think the option is just taking more shots from mid to long range. I think they're trying to get too intricate with it, and like Barcelona and Arsenal it into the kitchen, right? Just walking it in. They have players who can do that, right? The Ox, both Mane and all the front three can score from distance, right? We saw Fabinho strike against City from distance, right? It's possible. I feel like sometimes, and I think like we'll talk about the Clasico later too. There was so many times where I feel like watching them lately, I'm just like, shoot, right? Like they're thinking about it or doing too much, right?
But I think that is directly to Andres' point, that the teams are just kind of, well, for one, every team's up for them. Like, they know they're going to be eventual champions, and it's like they're undefeated, so that gives teams extra incentive.
They want to play spoiler.
And I think really what it is just that mental, like, that expectation that we set on them, because as they're doing so much better, then it's like, hey, man, they can tie this undefeated record. Hey, man, they can go invincible all season. Hey, man, they could go for the treble. Hey, man, they should prioritize this. Hey, so I think that takes a toll on the players, and it is a little bit of fatigue too, but I think it's more of that.
Shout out to boy
pressure.
Pito. The boy Pito watching live on the stream.
Yep.
Tell him walk his ass over here, but I think it's really that, dude. That, and like, teams go through rough patches all the time. We'll see if they can fix it in time for the Champions League game.
Yeah, that's the problem. You gotta also be, for champions, you have to peak at the right time, and that break kind of threw the whole schedule off. Because by now, people are, teams are kind of gearing up for the last stage of the season, and then it's like, they randomly took a break off, and now they're kind of like out of rhythm with everyone else. I think Klopp was also trying to get like the intensity up, because you're up by 22 points. I mean, you're not gonna take every game like seriously. You're gonna be like kind of chilling and okay, we'll score.
And that's got to be another factor, right? They play an intense, energetic game. At some point, they were bound to get tired, right?
Well, I was saying, I don't think I've seen any of the wing fullbacks rest, or Firmino really lately. Right now, after they lost, I've seen Minamino a little bit more. Even though I expect a little more out of him, but yeah, some players really haven't rested, and I don't know. I don't want to give it that excuse that it's fatigue, but
after a year though of not losing,
I know, but I just haven't seen a rotation, in those positions. I said, like, especially with the front three, or maybe with the fullbacks, and they got Milner who can play for Robertson. And at right back, I don't know who would play for Arnold.
In the cup, they played one of their kids,
okay.
Nico Williams.
And again, it's easy to say now, because if they would have won, we don't say anything today or this week.
Yeah.
We just say that they're rolling and they're the best ever, so.
But it was 2 losses too, right? I mean, say what you will about the FA Cup, and Andres is right. They probably didn't prioritize it as much, and the lineup might tell you that a little bit, because that front 3 in the cup was Origi,
Sane and
was it Minamino too?
I mean Mane. I'm sorry. Minamino. Mane was the only normal starter.
Yeah,
Mane.
so, like Origi, I mean, say what you will, he's had some clutch goals in his Liverpool career, but not the most thrilling, right? Or the most creative or most game-breaking player, right?
It's his first season at Liverpool. I mean, not even half a season, so.
Who? Origi?
No, Minamino.
Oh, Minamino, yeah.
So it's culture shock, coming from Japan.
Well, from Austria, right?
Or Austria, yeah.
But, I mean, you're right. The Austrian league, compared to the Premier League, is several notches, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, fatigue, it looks like we're saying. Loss of rhythm and focus.
Also, all the greatest teams, after like 40-plus wins of unbeaten, of winning every game, you kind of, that's...
Who the fuck said that?
We, like, even the Barças from, like, 2011, 2012, I mean... They won so much that you just after like 45 games you get tired. I think they were close to it or something like that. So,
well,
they're definitely on that level.
The timing is poor too, right?
But the timing is poor because now they don't win FA and
the Champions League crucial run up to
Champions. They need to score goals, and if they don't score goals, they're not gonna get past Atletico.
Henderson looks like he'll be back for that match, but now it looks like Alisson, the record goalkeeper signing, is out, possibly with a hip injury. So. Again, you said earlier you think they'll be fine there in the Champions League, right? But I mean,
I don't know if
Adrian
fine
just
is
gave
the
up a
word.
goal to Chelsea in the cup, but I guess we can talk about that later in our Champions League talk. But you guys think Liverpool gets over it this weekend and
they need
beats Bournemouth?
It sounds terrible to say they need it, but they need it.
No, they need it to build momentum. I would agree.
Yeah,
I think
to build momentum, they need to.
I think they will too, but it is starting to sound more
concerning.
Concerning for the Champions League. Like, I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's because this is what I was gonna get to. It's like, and you touched on Origi and like the thing is that Liverpool's bench players aren't up to that level where. Like, they don't have the depth that other teams have, which make their run all the more impressive, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same players. I mean, in the mid, Klopp essentially has the front 3 rolling, and then a mid that is like 6 mid players that are willing to sacrifice at all times for the front 3.
Mm.
But the drop-off from the front 3 to their subs is immense. And then, they just don't have like the depth that a team like City has, and that's hurting them right now because you got to play your front 3, and it's kind of getting a little stale, Whereas like they can't the biggest switch up Liverpool can do in their front 3 is maybe switch Salah and Mane's on what side they play, but you're not gonna say, hey, I'm gonna start Origi or Minamino. Right, you get what I'm saying? Like, It's like
they did a weird They did a different formation for the FA Cup.
Yeah, I know, but that only proves my point that they don't have the depth to be like we're gonna. They could, if they wanted to win the FA Cup, they would have started their front 3 again, and then it goes to the same thing where you lost the game, so maybe the best thing is to start losing a little bit or just get the other players in rhythm because if we're gonna need them too, we're gonna need them to.
Step up.
Yeah. But I don't know. They beat Barca with no Salah or Firmino.
I'm still salty about that.
No Salah or
Firmino. A full year
Firmino.
from that now. That capitulation. Liverpool plays Bournemouth this weekend, and then next Wednesday they'll be playing Atletico at home. And we'll talk about that in depth a little bit more later. Elsewhere in the English League, City last week didn't play a league game because they played in the Carabao Cup final where they beat Aston Villa 2-1. Actually, a much better match and a much closer match than you would expect. I thought City was going to steamroll Villa. But Man City jumped out in front. Then Aston Villa equalized after John Stones fell comically trying to defend a long ball that he really should have had. I think he was like backpedaling or something and then tripped over himself. And then Villa made it 1-1 before finally City scored, right? Or no, it was 2-0. It's 2-0.
I thought it was 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Villa definitely scored.
Well, no, it was 2-0 when Villa scored. My fault. But either way, they kept it entertaining, and it was close to the end there. But City wins the League Cup or the Carabao Cup for the third straight year. So I guess
I mean, Pep has
that's impressive.
Pep's won it every year, right? And then he
won one FA Cup.
He's got a good amount of domestic trophies now for his 3-year run. Like 6, I think, 6 or 7.
Yeah, they won all the cups last season.
And then they followed that up with a win in the FA Cup. They beat Sheffield Wednesday 1-0.
Well, Pep just likes winning all the trophies. Doesn't matter if it's
because peep their lineup. Who they started. Against Villa. Who can do that? Start that lineup, and then talk to me
Foden
about
played.
Yeah,
right, and played well. I think he won man of the match.
But it's like
that's an academy player though.
But either way, that's what he's saying. That they're playing an academy player, and then when he's winning cups, or not winning cups,
Yeah, well, he should probably also be a starter.
Will be.
They have like 2 players for each position. That
they have
starters.
They have that to do that.
The only other team that reminds me that has this good of a bench was like Madrid when they won those 3 or 2 in a row. They won 3 in a row, but they had stacked teams for two of those.
Madrid is probably they're the richest club, so they can afford to do it.
Well, City didn't play in the league. They were supposed to play Arsenal, so that match has been, I guess, postponed because of the cup final. Wow. So they have a match at hand. But I think they're steadily positioned to be in 2. Leicester behind them in 3rd is there's some separation there, and they're not going to catch Liverpool realistically. So they're comfortably positioned there. Their priority, and probably they're going all out for the Champions League, right? And they don't play until 2 weeks from now. Or, not this upcoming week, 2 weeks from now. So, City. And they're up with 2 crucial away goals. So it looks like they're through in the next round to the Champions League. And with that being said, I think their focus is probably there, right? They'll probably flex some of that depth in the Premier League for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they're just gonna use it as practice, really. I mean, they're gonna obviously try to win the games, but it's not. The pressure is off of them in the league, so it's all practice for the champions, really.
Mm-hmm. Pressure's off in the league for Liverpool and City, but elsewhere the pressure is on. Leicester's still in 3rd. For now, 50 points, and they've got 5 points of separation from 4th place, which is currently Chelsea.
Can you click on them, Rafa? What's their schedule look like
for Leicester?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they're gonna drop. Right, that's what.
Well, they play Aston Villa on Monday, then they play Watford.
Reasonable.
Then they play Chelsea in the cup and at the FA Cup.
They only play the league right now. So
they have some pretty manageable games. They played Brighton.
Okay. They can hold.
They play Everton. I think they'll hold, which is why I just kind of.
And they've been playing good. It's not like they're shit, you know.
Yeah. But elsewhere, Chelsea's kind of playing like crap. They tied Bournemouth 2-2. I was just joking about it. Marcos Alonso scored both goals. Their left back scored both goals for Chelsea.
Yeah, Lampard isn't happy. He's like, my left back shouldn't be,
he shouldn't
scoring goals.
But I mean, they rebounded and they beat Liverpool in the FA Cup later on Tuesday. So they stay alive in the FA Cup.
Ross Barkley had a nice
Ross Barkley,
run.
and then Willian took a shot that Adrian spilled into the goal, like I've already mentioned. So they rebounded, but in the league, their form stays, quite frankly, terrible lately. I think they're winless in the last 5 now, 4 or 5 in the league. So is Chelsea? Do they got what it takes to hold on to 4th if they're getting 2 goals from their left back?
I think Tammy Abraham is gonna come back next week.
I think
So
Pulisic is still out
and
too, right?
No, I think he's training. He did a training match recently. I think they're gonna start to get some other players back. I mean, Hudson-Odoi is out, I think, for a hamstring. But if Pulisic comes back, that's a big boost, you know, and on that in that mid. I think they'll probably start getting healthy again and gaining, you know, momentum with their players coming back. Pulisic is actually like one of their best players, so that's definitely gonna.
One of their best.
Yeah.
What has he done?
He did have a game with
Scored
a
a hat trick.
Right? But I believe.
I mean, what has he done
He,
to,
well,
for
he
you to
was
say
playing,
that?
He was playing well at the beginning of the season.
You're just saying crazy shit right now.
I don't know. I mean, who would you say then is I'm not necessarily
Chelsea's
agreeing
best
with,
player?
Yeah, I'm not agreeing with that.
Conte, for
And
sure.
He's hurt.
Conte, yeah, he's hurt.
I think Alonso is very good. I mean,
He's not bad, but I mean,
I think he's good.
It's like you say
As
about
per
Madrid, they're
Puerta.
getting no goals from the forwards, right?
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna say that, yeah, I don't know how Lampard has even done any of this and gotten them to the conversation that
Yeah,
they're
it's already
gonna
impressive,
finish
right?
top 4.
True.
But they definitely look like, to me, they look like slip up potential right now. How you saying is they're on a terrible run, and they have a lot of players that they need to get rid of. If I'm being quite honest with you, you know, like
Willian's a free agent.
Pedro's there for, like Alonso too. Like they're gonna get a whole new squad, I feel like, but I don't know. It's really,
I mean, you got United and Wolves right behind them.
yeah. I feel like
Oh, I'm sorry. Chelsea beat Spurs in the league not too
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so it hasn't been. They did that's when they broke their winless run. So
Fake
my
news.
apologies. Fake news.
I think Chelsea might be the one to slip, but maybe they just slipped to 5th, right?
Well, even at 5th right now, they have 5 point. They're 5 points. No, 3 points up. Man, my math is terrible.
Yeah, 3 up on
They're
United
3
and
up
Wolves.
on the current 5th place, which is United. So I mean, if they don't gain some consistency, it's really truly on for them. I mean, even 5th is fine for them because it looks like City is probably not going to play in the Champions League next year. So that 5th spot is going to be crucial.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not looking good. United is now 3 points behind them. Now United this last weekend tied Everton 1-1. Bruno Fernandes scored again. But mind you, this was after Everton scored first. And then Everton, Everton didn't score first. De Gea tried to clear the ball or kick it out from the back, and it hit Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Everton and ricocheted into the goal. I think this was in the 3rd minute of play, too, so United went down early. Then
And
Fernandes,
then he made a crazy save.
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes later.
I think he's one of the most error-prone goalkeepers.
Lately, yeah.
Yeah.
And then him and actually his opponent, Pickford.
Oh, yeah, Pickford as well. Both of them.
And then so Fernandes scored again, 1-1. And then there was a moment in the second half when Everton, I forget which Everton player, but somebody on Everton took, somebody on Everton took a shot, it deflected off Harry Maguire and went into the goal, right? Now, the controversy came because there was an Everton player down who was offside in front of De Gea. Gylfi Sigurdsson was down on the ground offside. And United and De Gea and ultimately the referee and VAR agreed that Sigurdsson was offside and interfering, right? But I think
contrary to what I would say, but
honestly, yeah, it took a deflection off Maguire, right? And Sigurdsson moved out of the way. And I think De Gea was there was no way he was going to make it. He was going the other way, right? So like Johnny's been quick to point out,
Man U has 6 more points than they should, really.
On VAR,
they've been getting some more than favorable calls. They shouldn't have been having Maguire for at least 2 games. But
he's hurt at the moment too, I believe.
Who?
Harry Maguire.
Good.
But they stay in 5th with that draw. But you said, they got really lucky here, didn't they?
Yeah. But the only thing, I mean, I'll note for them that their defense has improved. They beat Chelsea a week ago, right? Or 2 weeks ago. They just tied Everton. They're on a good run. They're going to come up against City next week. But, yeah, Fernandes, immediate impact player. I mean,
They haven't lost since he's been there.
But how do you know when you're gonna get a player like that? You know how sometimes takes time to adapt. I think it's because finally, like, they just identified exactly what they needed, so it just plugs in. You know.
Yeah, because like you said, it usually takes some time to adapt. He came in middle of the season and has already got 3 goals now, right?
Yeah.
A couple assists.
Yeah.
He just has space to shoot, and he loves to take long range shots. I think he has like 16 shots.
Yeah.
In like 2 games.
I think he like paints the modern midfielder now. Kind of what you expect out of a midfielder now.
Yeah, to his and United credit, they are undefeated in the last 9. 6 wins, 3 draws.
Well, it's because when you have a midfielder like that, it opens up all the spaces on the side, on the wings, where
Well, it's because they're willing to run back and forth and shoot and pass and attack and defend. So it's like
they then beat Derby in the middle of the week. United did 3-0. Odion Igalo had his had a brace. That looks like it could potentially be another winter signing that works out for them. He scored now in.
Rooney just grew a beard and plays
for Derby County.
For Derby and just takes free kicks.
Dangerous free kicks. Yeah.
He's still a pit bull, right? Little pit bull player.
See, I put the asterisk on this run because they should have gotten red cards and lost 2 games, or at least questionable calls. They beat Brugge, right? Bruges, which I don't rate. Derby, which I don't rate. But
hey, Bruges tied Real Madrid this season.
Yeah, and that goes to show you how good Real Madrid is this season.
at least they're attacking, even if not quality.
Well, because Fernandes has came in and sparked them. So
Andres said a couple weeks ago that Pogba could be playing this against City this weekend.
I heard some BS like that too. I read something, but I don't until I see it. It's all fake news to me.
Well, United's been maintaining and kind of pushing been on a nice little run. A team who's not been on a nice run, quite the opposite actually. Spurs. They lost to Wolves.
They let me down.
Wolves beat them 3-2. Our boy Jimenez scored at the end of the match to give Wolves the victory. Then Spurs and Mourinho followed that up with a penalty loss, right to Norwich. In the
I didn't
FA
see that.
Cup.
I saw crazy stuff's been going on with Spurs.
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
On an awful run right now, and now they've dropped to 7th.
From 7th, right? Weren't they in 7th?
They were in 5th not too long ago. Even as soon as Mourinho got there, they were pushing the 5th.
Mourinho losing the touch.
Now they're down to 7th. Yeah. Now, to Mourinho, I guess not his credit, but understandably so. They're without their 2 best offensive players. Probably their 2 best scorers, Kane and Son. But I think it was Johnny earlier in the week who said it best. Mourinho teams are known to defend well. They're not defending well at all. And then he's benching his best players, right, Johnny? His best center backs?
Vertonghen and Toby.
Yeah, Toby Alderweireld, right?
Yeah.
Alderweireld. It's tough to say. Tough.
I don't know what's going on. It's like I'm telling you, we said last week too. We thought it was a coach thing then, but like clearly it was a player thing too with mad drama that we won't talk about. But and then Dyer too going into the stands the other day.
End of the FA Cup match, and he climbed into the stands. You can bet he's gonna get suspended.
Yeah, and it's just like they're in like free fall is the best way to just describe them. Like. I do not think they're going to score goals, and I don't think they're going to win games, really. I mean, at least not against the top teams, and I don't count them as a top contender for maybe they can get Europa, but again, what does this say about Mourinho? I'm being kind of harsh on him, but
he's crying that he can't wait for July 1st so
that
he can buy his own players.
Oh, yeah.
That's just not the attitude to have.
I mean, he went in the season, he's like, look, I am not going to win anything. If I get 4th, that would be the greatest achievement, So
yeah,
he kind of knew what he had going in. I don't think he expects to.
But none of those players even
to win now.
They don't even seem like Mourinho players that he's gonna have to be working with.
But I mean, at the same time, they brought in I think those were his signings. Gedson Fernandes, right? Bergwijn.
Yeah. I don't think Bergwijn was his signing. I think they were just like he was just gonna get signed because they needed more players or more whatever.
Well, Currently 4th through 8th place in the FA League.
Well, you didn't
EPL.
bring up our boys,
Who?
Wolves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I said Jimenez.
Jimenez.
Well, yeah, no, actually, good point because Wolves are now in the conversation too, to maybe qualify for 5th or 4th if Chelsea keep it up, right? And
Yeah.
Potential champions.
See,
yeah, Wolves is in 6th now, actually, and they're tied on points with United.
yeah, that's
My
what I'm
fault.
saying.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Give them their credit, right?
Yeah.
They're down 42 points. I think the only thing that they're only on 6th because of goal differential. But yeah, they have 6 points.
And remember the game that they should have beat Liverpool on that VAR offside, and then the game where they should have beat who was it?
It was recently
Man U.
too.
Man U.
I don't
can't
think those
remember.
two teams really separate though at all this season.
United and Wolves.
Yeah,
I think-
they kind of both have the similar luck.
See, I would argue that Wolves, out of all those teams, is the team that plays with the most, like, with the style of play and with intent. But their weakness is that they just don't have that depth or the resources that the other teams
They're also
have.
playing Europa, so
I mean, so is Man U,
so
so
is
is
Man U.
Chelsea.
They're
Or
playing
even
in
though
Europa,
Chelsea's
and they're in
down,
6th place right now. That's impressive, I would say, for a team like Wolverhampton.
pretty
Wolverhampton
much
Wanderers.
pretty much the thing to look out for Wolves is if they make top 5, great. They're gonna keep all their players and they're gonna go for it next year. But if they don't, they're gonna get raided ASAP.
Yep, they got a lot of
with-
talent.
Yeah, Jimenez has been arguably he's the top 10 player in the league for sure.
He's
But
their highest scoring player ever in the Premier League. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
oh yeah,
Shout
and
out to the boy.
record signing. Too,
they
I think,
and then they
40
bought
million.
they bought. Remember when they bought him for like 40 something mil, and everyone's like, "Damn, this is too much for this guy." He's easily worth double that. I would say he's upwards to 100 right now. I
That's
don't know,
crazy.
right? And then he just
100.
he was worth 40 when they bought him.
I think like a big English club will probably
Like a
70,
70, 80?
like a 75.
Well, that's close.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
mean? You acting like
Let me see what
No,
his-
no,
Blasphemous.
for what he's
Not
been
a-
doing,
I
I
mean,
would agree.
yeah.
I'm saying just because of his age, maybe they wouldn't buy him that because how old is he? He's 26, 27?
I
Maybe
don't
a little
know,
bit
but
older. I feel like he's been on this. He won the gold medal in 2012. Right?
well, he's easily worth double what he's
And he was-
worth
yeah,
right
he's a
now.
double, yeah.
So look out for him, Traore. So yeah, if they finish top 5, expect them to keep their players. If not, they're gonna get ransacked.
But
Like-
hey, we thought about. I mean, they didn't necessarily get completely ransacked, but they were pretty impressive last season too, and they've only really improved on that. So, shout outs to them. That's cool,
Yeah,
man.
That
That's good to
coach,
see.
that coach is bound to Nuno
Nuno
Espirito
Santo.
yeah. He's bound to get picked up somewhere at a big team.
Nuno. Awesome. Well, that kind of wraps up our FA Cup Premier League English roundup there. We'll see if Liverpool can bounce back. Look out for City versus United. The Derby. The Manchester Derby is this weekend. We'll make our pick on that at the end. We'll move on to the other big thing we're going to talk about. And we were fortunate enough to get together to see this one. The biggest match in world football, in club world football at least. The Clasico. Real Madrid held down the Bernabeu and won 2-0. They beat Barcelona at home. And I mean, it might be breaking it down a little simple, but it was really the two teams played differently. It was a tale of two halves, right? Barcelona had opportunities and played rather well in the first half, and then in the second half, Barcelona had no answers for Madrid. And in the end, Vinicius gets, I would say, and I mean, granted, I'm a little bit biased, but a rather fortunate goal off a PK deflection that
It's
got
definitely
past Ter
lucky.
Stegen. And then the 2-0 line is kind of deceptive. Like Madrid, I agree, definitely deserved to win. They were the better team on the night, especially in the second half. Isco in particular, played well. Had a shot that really forced Ter Stegen into a world-class save. But I mean, and then Mariano Diaz came on and scored in garbage time.
On his first shot.
On his first touch, almost. Well, not his first touch. He dribbled a little bit first, right? But now, Johnny, you weren't necessarily excited for the prospects of this game, right?
Not at all.
Not at all. Did it live up? Or was it exactly what you expected?
It was exactly what I expected.
Not good.
It wasn't good. It was fun, but it was not a good game.
Would you agree then that Barca had a better first half and then it was all Madrid the second half?
I feel like, yeah, exactly what you said. You can even say Madrid wasn't good till like minute 70, till that Isco shot. Other than that, like, they might have started more intensely the second half, but it wasn't until they kind of like stopped giving a fuck or like stopped kind of respecting Barca and really going up to them and just really taking the ball from them and going straight at them that they got the goals. Really just off pressure. That Barca mid does not handle pressure well, and that's really the key to beating them. You know?
They also played at the pace that Madrid wanted them to. Really slow and,
Not even. They both played at that pace.
Yeah.
There was a lot of ball watching in this game.
Madrid had, they just used Vinicius a lot more to counter. Whatever he produced is what they got, really, from,
There was a lot of ball watching. I thought, I don't know, yeah, I think it's what you said. But there's just some crazy stats, like Messi hasn't scored since
in the last 5 Clásicos.
Since Cristiano left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It really lost. It's lost the allure, not the. It hasn't lost like the, obviously the grandness of it, but it's definitely lost a little bit of the.
Little shimmer.
Yeah, like
shine.
yeah, but I think that's indicative of the premier of La Liga right now. I don't think it's that great. I've been saying it all year, and I think both teams are getting old, but they're not far off,
They still have world-class talent to win the league. They should win the league, either one of them. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Just to like critique the whole league, but based on those two teams.
What do you mean? It was a terrible
I'm just
game.
saying, even though they're bad, they still have world-class players to beat other teams.
Well, look
league.
here. What I was gonna say is,
but they're not gonna compete in the Champions League.
Oh no, they're not.
Look,
then how world class are they that they're beating?
I'm just saying they have world-class players.
They're still in the Champions League. Well, here's the thing. I was gonna counter what Johnny was saying about the Spanish league with the fact that currently, 3rd place, all the way down to 6th, actually 7th. 4th place of separation. So there's the champion. All the European spots are still up for grabs completely in La Liga. Now, I know Johnny was going to probably counter that with that's relative to that's because the state of the league is so poor, right? Not because these teams are playing well. That's probably his argument. But then my counter to that is, well, you said the Champions League, right? All the Spanish teams are still in the Champions League. Madrid and Valencia look like they're on their way out. Atletico may still hold on.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Catch me outside after this next round.
I think it's just the way the league is transitioning. They were on the top for so long that now they're just
I don't doubt that they're just world class players, but I just don't think no one's up for it.
It's a really low scoring league as well. I think they're the lowest scoring league out of top 5, or the second lowest. Or the lowest, I think they're right. And Bundes is the highest
for
scoring.
This year. Bundesliga and Italy is surprisingly up there. But, we're looking at it now. Look at this. Like, Barcelona had 3 chances in the first half, right? But Griezmann blasted one over the bar. Arthur couldn't get this one over Courtois. Messi blasted one straight at Courtois' gloves.
Yeah, this is Barca just having no offense either all season.
How is Arthur the most forward player in this play, and
how is Toni Kroos the last man for Real Madrid?
There was so much wrong with a lot. That's what I'm saying.
Actually,
probably
yes, you're spot on, right,
probably,
Johnny? It was a weird-ass game. It really was weird, right? Messi, kind of hustling and bustling and had some kind of nice touches here and there. But
does he look a step off, though? Or
there's been whispers that he's been injured since January with a thigh problem. And before, when the match, when I was listening on Bein, they were saying that he was limping off the team bus. And I was like, oh, shit.
I think he saw Cristiano in the stands and
freaked out.
Yeah.
But hey, no, yeah, like I was saying, the other European spots are up for grabs, right? And we'll see what happens, right? Madrid looks like they're ready to dole out some money this summer. Probably lining up Mbappe or Pogba, possibly both, right? So I know I kind of can see where Johnny's saying some of the luster is gone from
Haaland
this.
Even.
It may happen, man. It may happen soon. Maybe you get some of these big guns in there. Maybe Barca gets a big name or two too, and it's back on, right?
Oh yeah, it'll be back on. They're gonna get superstars. Both teams. It's gonna become, a world game.
No.
the game of the season technically. So.
Lots of young Brazilians, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just natural that these teams are going to build back with the best players.
Cycles.
But right now, this is the end of Messi Ronaldo cycle. This is what 10 years of competitive soccer feels like at the end when the best players leave
Speaking of right now,
or grow old.
this leaves Madrid 1 point ahead. They were down 2 points on Barca. Now they're up 1. This gives them the head-to-head because I think in La Liga, that's the tiebreaker, head-to-head, not goal differential.
Yeah.
So Madrid's got the edge, and they're 1 point up. So, I mean, obviously, statistically, numerically, they're in a better position, right? But would you agree that they're probably in a better position to win the league? Johnny, probably you maintain what? That it's going to go down to the wire?
Yeah, I think it's pretty open, but I would definitely say advantage Madrid, 51-49. It's all up for grabs. I don't know. Don't get me started because there's so much that problems I want to say for both teams. Like Vinicius I think he's cool. He's a nice player, but he can't finish. He don't
I think
really.
he's 19 too, though. That's crazy.
I know, yeah, but he don't really excite me like that. I've seen a lot of Brazilian hype jobs like this. A la Robinho, most notably. But I mean, I think Madrid's question is: are they gonna have enough goals in them? And Barca is just: are they gonna have enough defense in them? So I don't know. They got Ter Stegen, but you think Madrid has enough going forward, knowing that Hazard's out now, so it's gonna be up to Isco, Benzema, Vinicius, Bale.
Isco's been getting a good run of games and has been looking all right, but he's also a very
Jovic, who hasn't featured at all.
unique player, right? Like Isco, I don't know how to characterize.
He don't
him.
fit in there. Yeah, he's the last 10.
I think they definitely got a boost from winning a Clasico.
Definitely at home
Yeah,
for the first time in a really
they
long
were
time.
they were super consistent until they lost like 2 games. I mean, just
Can you believe that's their first home Clasico win in like the last 4 or 5 attempts? That's crazy.
yeah, they're bound to win eventually. And just this year they've been prioritizing.
I think the stadium was really good for them. This game.
The atmosphere.
Yeah, it was favorable. I hadn't seen it. I hadn't. At least that was good for me. I hadn't seen a home crowd for Madrid be that animated in a while.
Yeah, it's a good win for Madrid, definitely.
And then what? This sets Barca back. Where do they go from here? Because they have a tough matchup this weekend.
They do.
Yeah.
They play Sociedad.
I mean, I think it's gonna go to the wire. Both teams. This won't be either team's last.
They'll lose
they're
points.
gonna.
They're still gonna.
Yeah,
drop points,
they're
though.
both gonna keep switching on who's 1 and who's 2.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to the last 2-3 games of the season.
Yeah, but it was frustrating to see Barca not be able to respond when
The pressure got
even
to them.
after the first goal. Yeah, they the subs weren't there, and I have not seen really any improvement.
They
I haven't
still
seen.
have that mentality. We go down, we really can't fight back anymore.
I haven't really seen any improvement under Sieten.
I mean, it's still the same squad that Valverde had. So
Then why they get rid of him?
Plus Martin Braithwaite.
yeah, I mean, yeah, no, they just wanted to give something different for the second half of the season, but still the same players.
I think his ideas are different, but I think Johnny, you said this, I think off air and on air, but it's just an aging squad. The ideas he has, he can't implement with Busquets, with Piqué, with
Messi who walks around.
The game he wants to play, this high pace, high
But-
tempo possession and the intense pressing, you can't do it with these guys.
But my thing is too, why are they treating Griezmann like shit? I understand he's not having the best season, but they're really subbing him for a freaking 16-year-old kid all the time. And you said before, he does more than just he runs back and covers, and then he still gets subbed out. He scores in the Champions League and still gets subbed out. I thought that was a Valverde problem, but it's I don't see that he's the weakest link, and they be subbing him out all the time. And that's just one of the many problems that Barca has been running into.
De Jong is not being played in his best position.
And then again, this was another formation that this guy just first time he put it out, right?
4-4-2.
They went out in a 4-4-2. he played 4 midfielders: De Jong, Busquets, Arthur, and Vidal, of all people. So, and with Madrid, it's just the consistency is a little bit more there. And Zidane, I don't know, he has the magic touch. Who puts in Mariano and they score for him?
It was in garbage time, but yeah, it counts. But I think it's like what you said, right? Isco took that shot, and then Madrid gained the confidence, right? They're like,
Yeah.
hey, we got this right now. They got no answer for it, and so it went. So I was bummed about the result, but I mean, Barca didn't. They had 3 chances to capitalize in the first, and that's what happens against good teams, against decent teams. You don't take those chances, and they come back to bite you in the ass. So there you go.
Will they, for Madrid? I mean, let's hope they take some momentum for the Champions League, and prove me wrong that the Spanish league isn't garbage.
It's garbage. And then elsewhere too. The only other thing I want to bring up in the Spanish league right now, Sociedad tied, or not Sociedad. I'm sorry, Atlético Madrid. My fault. Atlético tied 1-1 to Espanyol. Espanyol also kind of in the relegation scrap there. What the heck is up with Atletico? Obviously, they've got a big match in the Champions League coming up. And we're hearing whispers of all kinds of crazy stuff. But he's the highest paid manager, right? Are we seeing the end of Simeone at Atletico? Could he possibly leave after this? Or get sacked? Does Atleti need a change? Does he go somewhere else?
Based off what?
Well, it's. I mean, this team I think is in 5th right now.
I think you still have to see how they do in Champions. You know what they do in what 3rd place in La Liga.
You said so. He's earned some credit. He's earned some
Put
leniency.
the Liga MX games. Don't put this trash on right now.
Yeah, they have. I think they have.
You see this?
They've done well
This is why-
under him. I can't see why they would sack him anytime soon.
Yeah, no, it's been a historic period under him, right? But the performances just haven't been there, right? But
They lost 2 key players, and Godin and Griezmann. So, João Felix has been injured for a while. Just barely got back. I mean, they haven't had a consistent squad all season.
and they're still up in the Champions League, so I'm not saying it's immediately, right? Like he's got to go, right? But he's been at Atleti for the better part of a decade.
I think the way that he still inspires the team, like even in the Champions League win, that shows that he can still bring back some of the flashes of what they used to be. At least it's not just like Mourinho, where Mourinho has literally had inspired his team into nothing. So
recently, right? He lost it.
yeah, it's just Simeone is like, oh yeah, we still see this squad that takes down champions at home. So
Yeah.
even with the squad that he has, it's still impressive. If they were losing games and he was completely losing his style, then yeah, I could see them sacking him. But I'd just wait till the end of the season.
Cool. Well, we'll see if Atleti can get it together.
Yeah, I thought they would have capitalized on knowing Madrid and Barca weren't in their most stable to really try to compete more, but they really haven't. It's just a two-legged race, and
2-horse race.
yeah,
right now.
2-horse race. Sorry, and it's just like I think they'll start getting worried if Getafe gets closer to them. Is that the closest?
Sevilla's in 3rd right now at the moment. It's crazy.
Oh wow,
They
okay.
keep jockeying back and forth there.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they really care, and yeah, I don't think they'll
As long
fire
as they
him.
get champions, or they're not at risk for it, I don't think any movement should happen there with Simeone.
All right. Now, touching elsewhere in the old continent. Where are my notes? There we go. In the Bundesliga last week, Bayern Munich destroyed Hoffenheim 6-0. So they stay first. But there's a strange 10 minutes, last 10 minutes rather of the match. So I guess one of the investors or one of the investors, one of the money bags over at Hoffenheim isn't very well liked in the Bundesliga. Dortmund supporters have been banned from going to Hoffenheim now because they keep insulting him and keep protesting him. And I guess Bayern Munich supporters protested him and brought out some banner that was disrespectful. So for the last 10 minutes of the match, all the players on the field just stopped playing, and they were playing keepy uppy, right? And granted, they were up like 5 or 6-0 already, so the match was technically over. But imagine being a fan in the stands, right? And this is the last 10 minutes with both teams just dicking around.
It was pretty much over though.
Yeah, so I mean, I love that the Bundesliga fans are like so like, what's the word? They're so they're activists out there, man. They protest. They're so passionate. I love it. They come after the owners and the establishments, the front offices. I love it. But what a weird protest. I've never seen anything like that.
I think Johnny off air was saying, you know, they do this for an owner, but you know, when there's racist chants, this is exactly the response.
There you go.
You know, that they should be doing.
That's very good, right? This is the kind of stuff that should happen when there's racist incidents, and this happens way too often, right? So, what's really good from the players, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way racism is going to end in soccer is the teams just stop playing. They play keep you up until, you know, they stop. So, I mean, at least they'll... It's weird, yeah. It's weird for that they do it against the owner.
Yeah, super weird. Last 10 minutes, the last strangest final 10 minutes of any soccer match you'll ever see.
Bayern keeps winning, though.
They keep winning, yeah. They won 6-0. Lewandowski was hurt, but still...
Search Gnarby.
Goals come pouring in.
Kimmich. Everyone from the mid to the forwards can score, yeah. Which in like a tournament team, like a tournament format, that's what wins you games when everyone can score and come in, you know?
Well, what also is helping them is this last weekend, Leipzig dropped points, but they had a tough matchup. They played Leverkusen. The game finished 1-1, so that plus Dortmund beating Freiburg 1-0. Jadon Sancho scored. Brings Dortmund to 1 point within Leipzig, and they're right there, 4 points behind Bayern now. So Bayern's got a nice little 3-point cushion on Leipzig and 4 points on Dortmund. But Dortmund's right back in the conversation there. So another one that I think will go down to the wire. Obviously, Bayern's still in pole position, but Lewandowski's hurt. You never know. There's still a couple of crucial matchups later in the season. But definitely a one to keep an eye on because, again, down to 5th place, it's still kind of a toss-up. I mean, I seriously doubt that Leverkusen in 5th place is going to march and win the first place over Bayern, right? But, like Andres was saying, one of the high-scoring leagues, if not the high-scoring league, at least this season. Very fast-paced, lots of action. Bundesliga is looking entertaining. Every week I feel like I'm posting another goal from the Bundesliga because it's just a stunner after banger over there. But yeah, things stay heated up there. Dortmund I think is surprising too because they've got a couple clean sheets in a row now. My biggest beef with them, or the one thing I always criticize them for, is man, they've got tons of probably the best young attacking talent in Europe, right?
Erling Haaland.
But they're also liable to give up some silly goals. They're defensively terrible sometimes, but now they've got a couple clean sheets now, and I feel like they've turned a corner. Are they a threat?
We'll see after they play PSG
in the Champions League.
I think that's my barometer right there as to how good they actually are.
They already beat them once.
Haaland didn't score this past weekend, which is shocking, right?
Yeah.
You come to expect it.
I mean, he's great, but I don't know if he can score every game like that.
I think it's more what you said. It's a race, definitely. Bayern scored the goals, right? So they're definitely the hot topic right now, kind of, or
they're the team to beat. They're definitely hot. They just scored 6 in this one.
They're definitely in form as well. They had a rough first half of the season, and now everyone's clicking, everyone's scoring, and this is what you want.
This happens every year for them.
Yeah, this happens, and then somehow they let down. But it just feels when Lewandowski has 38 goals. I mean,
that's true. But then the other teams have kind of stepped it up too. I can't remember the last time it was this close in Germany. They're all right there. I mean, Bayern still you feel like has a handle on it, right? But Leipzig's right there, 3 points behind. Dortmund 4 points behind. I think they can start to get to that point, right, where if these guys start dropping points and we start getting to 7, 8 points, then that's it,
Yeah.
right? But for now, wide open, all teams playing pretty well, all teams playing exciting football.
Yeah, I'm going still with RB.
Leipzig can stun them.
Yeah,
They're the closest.
yeah.
Nice.
We'll see.
I think
Yeah.
Bayern.
Timo Werner leaves Leipzig with a bang.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they've played really well all year, so. And they're both gonna still be in the champs, hopefully, and I think that'll definitely impact. Well, and if Dortmund is in it too, that's gonna impact a lot of.
Yeah, who crashes out? Who stays
Yeah,
in.
exactly. How they manage the games, and stuff like that. I'm telling you, I wish I could see more games, but I just can't because I don't know where they're at.
Yeah, no, the Bundesliga only has a few matches here in the States on Fox Soccer, I believe.
Yeah,
But
so
they're coming. They're coming to ESPN come next season, so that'll be exciting just when things are picking up there in the Bundesliga. Another league where things are picking up, Italy. Well, kind of. Finally, for the first time in probably a decade. I mean, we had Napoli and Roma maybe kind of sort of push them a little bit, not a lot. But finally, as of last week, Lazio took over first place, sole possession of first place.
20-game unbeaten streak.
In Serie A.
Yeah,
They
impressive.
are up on 62 points. That's 2 more points than Juventus. Now, also happening in Serie A currently, Italy has one of the biggest outbreaks of coronavirus outside of China. And 2 weekends ago, they postponed a few games. This last weekend, the big one was postponed. Inter versus Juve. Inter has now had their last 2 league matches postponed. And then
I don't
during
think
the
they
week-
needed to do that.
Well, they in Italy they've had a pretty significant outbreak. Like
I know,
more
but
people than they've had here.
It's just the money. What Andres was saying, they're not willing to not play that game without people there to pay
Well, the
full
thing is-
full
I
premium
think now
price
they're,
tickets.
Yeah, now they're playing closed doors because
Well-
they have to keep the league going.
Well, yeah. Now,
Yeah.
Inter's last 2 games have been postponed, and now, like Andres was saying, all sporting events, open air sporting events in Italy, which meaning Serie A, will be played but behind closed doors. So no fans for the month of March in Italy.
Damn.
So that's interesting, right? That's gotta kind
Yeah.
of take its toll on you as a player, or you don't have that energy to feed off of. I
Even
would
for
imagine.
champions, I think, for one of the Champions League games.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Or some of them.
yeah.
So
But
this is it takes a lot away from home advantage.
kind of getting away a little bit from
Now it's a neutral base,
right from what I was trying to say. But what
Sorry,
what that
yeah.
means to say is that, yeah, there's a couple matches that are postponed. There's a couple teams that still need a couple matches at hand. Inter still have to play a couple matches, but Lazio's up top right now. They're the surprise team, but they've been able to maintain some consistency. They've won their last 4 matches in a row. Do they got what it takes? Are they're legit or what? Immobile is the leading scorer in Serie A right now. You've got contributions from other players. I think we've talked about it a couple weeks in a row now, but let's say Juve Inter tie this weekend, right? What does that mean? Can Lazio hold on there and win their first Serie A title in like over 15 years and break 8 years of Juve winning it in a row?
I would say yes. Hot take. No, because of everything you said, I feel like it's bubbling up to be the perfect concoction of scenarios. Like Juve hasn't been good. They're kind of one eye in the league, one eye, but really one bigger eye on the Champions League, and then Inter. They sometimes lack that sharpness or that style of play that you can't identify. Whereas I think Napoli, Lazio, I think they're honing in on it. You know, they don't gotta play Champions League or Europa, so they're all in the league. And yeah, I've been peeping out. I mean, they have a nice squad. We keep mentioning it, and they all do what they gotta do. Their coach Inzaghi has them playing like with real purpose.
Immobile,
So,
27 goals.
Yeah, I think they have the most goals after Atalanta, and they have one of the best defenses in the league. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I think it might be. I think this has been the best year for Italy
in a while.
in terms of competitiveness, and because it's not just. I think it's really picking up because like yeah, it's that top three, but like teams still got to play Napoli, still got to play Roma, still got to play, you know,
Milan.
big Milan with Zlatan. They still got to play some big clubs that. Whereas before it was always just like a gimme. It still kind of is now, but like those teams are definitely making it harder because the teams are actually trying to play with purpose, like with kind of where the game's going right now, you know, at least for what I'm seeing. Coaches are like
What a style.
yeah, the coaches are really I don't want to say they're impacting more, but like Lazio is like yeah, it's a well-built team and they do a lot of good stuff. I want to kind of they play a similar formation to Wolves.
Well, I think what you're saying is usually you're used to a more defensive tactical game
Yeah, maybe
in Serie A, and you're seeing a lot of high scoring games, right? Atalanta is scoring like crazy. They just dropped 7 goals again,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Third time this season.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Erase the other thing.
Yeah, we're saying about it's finally interesting in Serie A. I would like to see Lazio push Juve. It looks like it's going to be to the end, right? Because they're still hanging on in there. And hopefully, my fear of this with the outbreak there, and I mean, obviously it's sports. It doesn't matter as much as hopefully the lives of all those Italian folks, and hopefully everybody's okay and not too many people die or anything like that, right? But hopefully it doesn't like break the rhythm or they have to stop, right? Or
you see this goal?
Yeah, Mbappe impressive. He made that run all the way down. Granted, it was the French Cup, but still, Mbappe ready to get picked up by
lightning fast
by Madrid. So yeah, we'll see what the outbreak and the impact that closed stadiums have on the Italian sides. But really competitive and thrilling at the top right now. We'll see if Inter can recover. And this weekend you got Juve versus Inter, the Derby d'Italia. This is a big one.
Finally.
Postponed from last week, so it'll be this Sunday. Again, unfortunately, behind closed doors in Torino, but major implications for that one. Even a draw is major because then Lazio keeps that separation, even if it's 2 or 3 points at the top. So look out for that. We'll see if CR7 can keep on scoring. Had some rest now. So we'll see how that goes. The other big thing to look forward to in the next week or so, the return matches, the second legs for the round of 16 in the Champions League. On Tuesday, we have RB Leipzig playing in Germany against Spurs. They're up 1 goal. They have the crucial away goal. They scored away in London. And then also on Tuesday, Liverpool host Atletico. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Also on Tuesday, Valencia will be playing at Atalanta in Valencia. Now, Atalanta's up 4-1. Speaking of high-scoring Italian teams, right? And this game will be played away. Now, what I read earlier today was that the game will be played behind closed doors, even though it's in Spain.
What the heck?
Yeah. This corona outbreak has global and major implications, man. So, even though it's going to be in Spain for health reasons, and I guess the fact that this team is coming from an affected area, they don't want to risk it. So that away match for Napoli is going to feel like an away match, I think, for Valencia too, even though they'll be at home, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be nobody there. So barring a miracle, though, Atalanta should have it, right? Valencia got the crucial away goal, but they still need 3, right? So
I mean, they might lose or might tie, but I again say this with caution, they should pass, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think both of these matches are pretty much. I mean, and I guess we'll kind of give our picks later, but I think are pretty much done and dusted, right? Would you guys agree? Both of those teams with the lead currently advanced for the Tuesday matches. Leipzig maintains or probably builds the lead versus Spurs, and then.
What's that for the picks?
Yeah, I wouldn't put these for the picks.
No, I'm not putting. Well, we're gonna talk about actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could, but I don't think there's maybe the RB if you want to risk it on
Yeah.
that one.
Well, we're gonna pick that one at
Well,
the
what's
end.
next? Isn't it Champions? Just Champions next week?
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about,
Yeah.
boy.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
He's just talking about the matchups Tuesday and then
Oh,
Wednesday.
okay.
do you think either one changes, or do you think the
I think
teams
it
that
might.
with the
Yeah.
advantage stay with the advantage there?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. They might. Yeah. I think.
I think these are whatever last leg, how it ended is how it's gonna end for the tie.
So in Spurs, that's it for Spurs. This is where it ends for them in this year's Champions League. They're down 1-0, and it's an away goal, so they have to score 2 away.
Yeah, that's a big ask for a team that has no forwards, and the form that they're in.
And terrible defense against one of Germany's best teams, right?
Yeah.
High-scoring teams too.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a really high scoring team. This is a high intensity team, so
They really got to pull one out of the hat, and I just don't see Mourinho having it in him.
Or
He
that
can-
team.
I
right
mean,
now.
hopefully he can prove
yeah,
me wrong.
I mean, all
but
the Bundesliga teams won their first round. I'm pretty sure that trend is gonna continue on.
Mo lost to Mojo.
So RB wins again, most likely, and who was the other one?
Valencia
Atalanta.
loses. They're done, right?
Yeah,
They're down by
Atalanta.
3 right now.
Atalanta at least gets 1 or 2 goals to end the
And
tie.
And an Italian team advances. Amazing. And then
First time ever too.
for them. Yeah,
For
this is their
them.
first time in the Champions League, and then the first time even getting this far. So what a story there, right? That you love to see it. Again, the coronavirus kind of puts a damper on that, but good for them. Because again, this is a team where the last time they were this good, they got pillaged, right? They had players like Kessié, who's on Milan now. Players like there's that midfielder on Inter, Gagliardini. So they've had some good players in the past that have gotten elsewhere, and now they're pretty stocked up with a nice little team. So good to see that their success. And then on Wednesday we have I would say the bigger matches, because the implications are I mean, obviously the implications for all teams in this round of the Champions League are big, right? But it's a little bit more exciting. They're a little bit more closer. PSG will be at home against Dortmund, but Dortmund is up 2-1. PSG just need the 1-0 to advance on away goals. And then the other big one, Atleti travels to Anfield with a 1-goal advantage over Liverpool. Man,
Tricky stuff.
Wednesday's got some really good matches, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is a good day for it.
High-powered offenses in the first match in Paris, with suspect defenses, so you never know where that's going to go. Mbappe, we just saw the highlight from the Cup this week, scoring an amazing goal where he ran pretty much the length of the attacking half, did a little bicycle. Amazing shot to finish, too.
Yeah, there will be drama, and there will be heartbreaks.
Heartbreak, right? Emotion. People cry.
Yeah.
People will cry.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We won't talk exact scores yet, but you guys got Dortmund holding on, or no? Andres is already shaking his head. You got Paris finally turning it around in Paris.
I think so too. Maybe.
I think
but
yeah. Mbappe has had 2 really good games.
Neymar's healthy.
Neymar's healthy. I think they should have enough to beat Dortmund at home.
Yeah, me too. But I don't know. I want to say
This is what you spend $400 million to do, on 2 players. This is what they're expected to do at this point.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Sancho is really giving no fucks as a player. Like, he's down to ruin the party.
So
and then they have exactly. And then I think Royce might be back.
Marco Reus, yeah.
So I mean, that's nothing to take lightly, because PSG's gonna have to go up. So I mean, those guys are bona fide studs. Every single one of them.
They have to go forward and attack, so they're gonna leave some space in the back.
Yeah,
And they've got some counter-attacking hitters.
Yeah, so it I don't know.
It's still open.
The more I think about it, the less I'm getting convinced with PSG, because they're not good at defending, and they're good at just blowing it.
They are good at blowing it at this stage.
Mbappe doesn't defend. Neymar doesn't defend. If they want to play Icardi or Cavani, they don't defend. Their midfield hasn't been spectacular.
I think Di Maria's injured for this one.
I don't know. The more I think about it, the less I'm convinced with them. But they're really gonna have to score on that poor Dortmund defense if they're gonna want to win.
What about Liverpool? Are they gonna turn it around? Another magical European night at Anfield?
I keep leaning kind of more that it's getting tougher and tougher for me to try to see them pass.
You said you had a dream?
Yeah, that they were tied 1-1, and I was like, fuck, they got to score 2 more goals. It's too much. I don't know. It's really... It's a tricky scoreline, how we said, like, especially against this Atletico team. Like, they're gonna be pulling out all the stops.
Fouls.
Fouling deep, like, I don't know.
Deep blocks.
Yeah, just falling for no reason, just making time, giving up no space. They were in the first game. They were happy to let the wings, like, they just made sure to always double up on the wings if it was Arnold or Robertson.
Robbo.
Yeah, but otherwise they wouldn't go out to the sides. They'd stay compact in the middle.
The only thing that I kind of worry about, like, Atletico playing away is because they haven't won away in the league. They have, like, 3 wins out of, like, 14 games away. So they're a bad away team.
Yeah, Simeone did say that when they arrived for the home leg at the Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
They got hyped up.
Yeah, he said that the home fans were lined up and like,
yeah, I saw some
hyped
other
up like he's never seen them before, right? So I mean, obviously that's got to affect you as a player, right? But that's the same thing that happens to Liverpool on these. There's no, I mean, I've never been, right? So I can't say it personally, right? But they say there's no place like Anfield for these Champions League nights, man.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think the game's gonna really have to depend on how they do over the weekend, and then
Eyes on Bournemouth tomorrow.
Yeah, how they do over the weekend, and then it's just the Champions League, bro. Anything can happen. So it's like, yeah, Atletico's been doing bad away from home, but that was in Spain, you know? It's a whole different animal, talking about the Champions League in general.
People will cry.
Yeah, nothing is guaranteed. Because it's like Liverpool was guaranteed to kind of try to win that first game, and this should have been an easy wrap-up game.
They play at Anfield the next game, too, I think, against Bournemouth.
At Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anything, you know, that's 22 games unbeaten at home.
Yeah.
They need a win to preserve that home, you know, mentality that they can beat any team that goes there. So, they have to win.
Well, how are you feeling, Frankie? Are they gonna get it together? How are they gonna get it together and score 2 goals? And then even if they score 2 goals, they can't.
It's just
give up anything.
The scoreline, bro. Look, they can win, but the scoreline is what messes them up.
I don't see Atletico scoring.
They're gonna have.
But I'm having a hard time seeing
Costa, Rodri,
maybe Liverpool scoring on Atletico right now. But it's at home, man. I don't know. I'm thinking.
Does Firmino score finally?
I think they have one of those moments where in that last match that you were so upset, Andres, because you're a hater.
Because I'm a hater.
When Salah poked the ball through the West Ham keeper's legs. Was it Fabianski, right?
Yeah, fortunate flick, yeah.
It's gonna be one of those, man. At Anfield, it's got to go their way. You feel like.
Yeah, it feels like it has been a long time since they scored. So.
But then, I mean, let's take it a little bit elsewhere for a little bit. Is this season a flop if they crash out at the Champions League then too?
Well, beginning the season, none of us had trouble team right here. You know, we all thought maybe the league. So, but the fact that they were on the streak, the fact that they were beating everyone, your expectations rises.
Yeah.
So naturally, you're like, we were expected to win the league. Okay, well now we haven't lost. Let's win everything, or let's win champions.
Yeah, I think it'd be a little anticlimactic. Knowing that the league is pretty much wrapped up, they're gonna have to. Knowing that the league is wrapped up, they're gonna have to.
But if they crash out, they're gonna be already won the league, playing.
That's what I'm saying.
Meaningless games. They're gonna feel kind of empty. Like, damn, we didn't challenge for FA, or damn, we didn't make it as far as we could for champions. It's gonna feel. It's gonna feel good to win the league, no doubt. 30 years, but the expectations rose, and if you didn't meet up to them, it kind of feels like, well, I guess next year now you have to win everything, you know.
Yeah, it's do or die though, that's for sure. And people will cry. Should be thrilling. Wednesday, guys. If you've never really like paid attention to or gone to or watched it, I mean, I'm sure if you're watching us, you
Watch some football.
Yeah, you love football enough to watch some Champions League. But these are ones to watch. This is what you pay to see.
Yeah.
Or don't, or stream it. Do what you got to do. But these are definitely thrilling matchups. So
They're on
I'm excited.
Galavisión, you said, right?
Yeah, Galavisión. Is it TNT? Right?
Galavisión?
TNT.
Yeah, they're on
Bleacher
Galavisión.
Report.
Univision, you mean?
The champions?
They're on Galavisión
Yeah.
too. They're on Galavisión
I don't have
too.
Galavisión. I don't even know what the fuck.
Well, they'll have one on Univision and one on Galavisión.
You don't mean Telemundo?
No, it's Galavisión.
What fucking channel is that?
Galavision. You've never seen Galavisión? It used to be 78 here.
No.
You never seen Galavisión?
On cable?
Galavisión.
But I thought that ended a long time ago
No,
already.
they're still rolling, bro. But yeah, look out for those. We'll make our picks on the Champions League this week. Or for the Champions League this week at the end. Sorry, I'm tripping over my own words.
I think we're at the end, no?
No, we're getting close to it though. But
It's Frankie's favorite part.
hell
For sure.
yeah, we're going to Mexico, bro.
Oh,
Things are heating
no,
up.
this is
Things
not
are
his
getting
favorite part.
crazy. I'm excited right now because as we're going to air, Pumas and America tied 3-3. That's the kind of stuff you like to see. 6 goals in a match. Things are getting
I didn't
crazy
see
at the
that.
top because things maybe are a little different right now because there's been a couple matches that have been played already on a Friday. But Cruz Azul and America finished last week and tied for first. You know I'm happy about that. Cruz Azul coming off another victory. They beat Morelia. America lost 2-0 to Necaxa, but they also played 2 men down. They had 2 red cards. What an America thing to do. Just get 2 red cards in a freaking match. So yeah, they're at the top, and then things got interesting for some teams that needed to win. Chivas and Tigres both needed wins. They were down in the middle of the table, nowhere near the Liguilla zone.
Yep.
And then Chivas pulled out a big win against León on Sunday, 1-2-0. So now they sit in 8th place, comfortably in the playoff spots. Well, not comfortably, but sitting there right now. And Tigres won too. They beat Pumas, and Pumas was on a really good roll. They had been looking pretty impressive this season. And not only did they win, they whooped them. 3 goals from Gignac. One of them was a chilena. If you guys didn't see that third Gignac goal, oh my God, put it on. It's amazing.
Why'd Pumas play today?
I don't know, but they played America today, and that's quite a match to have on a Friday evening. And it finished 3-3. Thrilling.
At the Seoul?
Yeah, it was at the
Have they been
Universitario.
playing over there?
Yeah.
No, I mean on Fridays? No, right?
Who?
Pumas.
No, I don't think so. But it was. I mean, I'm that again,
Probably too hot or what?
What a great match to play on a Friday night. This
Yeah,
is
even my dad was watching it.
This is 2 of the big 4 in Mexico.
Daylight savings?
Both of them are playing well right now. Both of them are in the Liguilla spots. And it finished 3-3 on a Friday. Wow.
The Giants are back.
Yeah. Well, Pumas. America fans will tell you they've always and will always be big. But Pumas, it's good to see them competing again. Always glad to see Azul, but Azul stays doing well in the regular season and then choking when it counts.
Still good to see them doing good, though.
Yeah, good to see Chivas get a little bit competitive, right? Because, not really. But, no, just kidding.
Whatever.
Rivalries make football fun, right, guys? But that was a pretty big win from Chivas, too. I didn't necessarily see that because I called the León or I called the draw. Either way, I needed a draw. I think I called the draw because a draw would have been fine and given Cruz Azul the edge in points over León. Worked out either way. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention, Monterrey, the current champion, lost again.
Damn.
They lost when we were recording last week. They are winless in the current campaign, so it's pretty safe to say they're done for this season. I don't even know what went wrong there because the talent, the manager, everything's the same. But they've only managed to accumulate 3 draws and 5 losses.
This guy got a hot ass mullet, yo. Who is
Again,
that?
just kind of shows you the parity of the Mexican League, man. Things are so crazy. Things are so up and down. But yeah, some of the usual suspects starting to rise. Tigres and Chivas, watch out. They're starting to come back. Cruz Azul at the top. America at the top. Pumas back in there. And then you also have some wild cards. Bravos de Ciudad Juarez are kind of hanging in there. Querétaro tied 1-1 today. Santos is in there too. So, again, lots of parity and lots of competition in Liga MX.
Look at this guy's haircut. You see that?
This guy on Pumas does have a crazy mullet.
Got the shag, dude. It's more of a shag.
But yeah, definitely watch the Mexican League because it's thrilling these days. And we're pretty much halfway through the season right now. So Liga will be getting started in about a month and a half. So things are starting to shape up for that. And we'll keep checking in as the season progresses. No picks for the Mexican League this season, this weekend, just because we've got a lot of big matches elsewhere. And the big one was right now when we were recording, so I didn't want to call one that was going to be like over as we made the pick, right? That's 3-3. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on things there.
No, this is Fergie's favorite part.
Yeah, and move slightly north of the border. MLS started last weekend, guys. Major League Soccer's back. It's 25th iteration. And my Chicago Fire fucking lost 2-1.
That's what you feel?
Away against the reigning champion Seattle Sounders. Promising.
In like the 94th minute or something.
Yeah, it was frustrating because they gave up 2 goals in the second half. They were winning and then they lost. Gave up 2 goals to Jordan Morris. Really good American player. Scored the last one in stoppage time too. I think it was 90 plus like 2 already when he scored that one. So frustrating, but I'll take a loss to the champions away, you know. And also the Fire played with a kind of not necessarily their B squad, but their Cup squad. Some of their big signings are still kind of getting their visas, still getting fully integrated into the squad. So Gaston Jimenez just landed this week actually, or yesterday.
So
and the Argentine kid they signed, Ali Seda, is finally training. And then their right back, I would say probably one of their weaker their areas of need and weaker positions is at the right back. They had a center mid playing right back on Sunday rather, and it showed that he doesn't play there. So I'm hopeful. It was promising. I mean, as promising as you can take from a loss, right? But we had some young players play there. Medran, the former Real Madrid player and played elsewhere in Spain, looked really good. Had the pass before the assist for the Barrage goal there. So early in the season yet for the Fire, early in the season for all MLS. But elsewhere in the league, Carlos Vela was doing Carlos Vela things already in MVP form to start the season. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was a peach of a goal. Started on the right of the field, cut inside like Arjen Robben used to do, went all the way across the box before chipping the keeper. And LAFC won 1-0. They handed Inter Miami and David Beckham's in their first ever match, handed them the heavy L. And Vela just continuing to impress, going from strength to strength. Beat Leon in the Conca Champions and then had a good week. Chicharito, a little bit underwhelming, gotta say, against the Galaxy. Now, the Galaxy didn't play necessarily well overall against Houston, but they got the W. Their other designated player, Christian Pavon, Argentine winger who was from Boca. He played for Argentina in the last World Cup, but he scored a golazo off a goalie assist. I know you guys love to see it. Goalie with like a 60-yard pass to Pavon, who cut in and scored far post. But again, Chicharito didn't have the dream debut you'd like, right?
No debut goal.
He cut a frustrated figure, didn't get a whole lot of service.
He had some good link-up play, but...
And then again, I wouldn't say, talk shit yet. I mean, it's early. It was the first match. But he's certainly living the LA lifestyle already, right? He's made the rounds on late night. He's got pictures of Venice Beach.
Talking to LeBron James.
Yeah, courtside at the Lakers game with LeBron wearing a questionable silk shirt, right?
Yeah, he's enjoying, being a celebrity now.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's early, but it looks like he might need some time to settle, or that the team might need to settle and they might need to gel. The chemistry's still missing there for the Galaxy, but early goings yet. And also elsewhere, since we've been talking Liga MX and MLS right after one after the other. And I mean, since there's so many players crossing over now, Pulido scored on his debut for Sporting Kansas City, and Sporting won. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was like this slow-mo header, but it was a
No, I
nice
didn't
little
see it.
technical header he got. But he scored on his debut, coming good. So things already going to fast start in MLS. Nothing crazy this weekend. They play again. No crazy matchups. I would say probably the pick of the weekend is actually the Fire match. The Fire play the New England Revolution tomorrow. And the Fire and the Revolution have a kind of a rivalry going a long time back. Obviously, they're in the same conference. They're Eastern Conference rivals. And the Fire and the Revolution have played each other several times in the playoffs. So it's heated. Second match of the season. And it's going to be on WGN, guys. If you're here in Chicago, it's going to be on freaking TV. So you can actually watch it for free. I know Johnny was excited because he got to watch Atlanta United versus Nashville on free TV last weekend. It's accessible. Stop hating on MLS, y'all. Watch it. It's going to get better. And it's only going to keep getting better if we support it. So watch the matches. If you guys haven't, I know Johnny did. He texted me. I was proud of him watching MLS on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, things will progress, and they got some big players, some big Mexican names, right? Like FC Dallas, the Mexican all-star package that they're selling to get people in the stadium.
Yeah, it was cool to see games. Like, it was a good push by the MLS. So I guess it's a real thing out here now. Not to be sarcastic or anything, but yeah, the appeal of Vela, of Chicharito it's a pretty big deal, because I know my dad will just watch some stuff now, because they're on there. So, and we all know how much Mexicans like talking shit about other Mexicans. We're gonna be like, did you see this dumbass with
Did you see Chicharito flop?
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool to see. I saw the Nashville Atlanta game it was on normal TV at 8 p.m.
Prime time.
So it's like, I'll watch this, and then it was it all started Saturday, right? Was that?
Yep.
Yeah. So it was there's a lot of games on at the same time. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, and they're almost at 30 teams. So
yeah, there
there's
you
always
go.
something going on there. So yeah, guys, support your local club. Watch more MLS. And that brings us to our closing segment. Time to make those picks, boys. We got some big matches this weekend. And going into next week with the Champions League. Just a reminder, Andres and I are deadlocked at 16 correct picks each. Johnny's right there with 15. So
technically this weekend we'll decide it.
I've got one match for Saturday, 2 matches for Sunday, and the other 3 are all Champions League matches. So we'll start with the Saturday one in La Liga tomorrow. Barcelona's got a big match against Sociedad. Sociedad right there right now in 4th, or fighting for the European spots. They've had a nice good season. They've got some good players, and Barcelona's trying to bounce back from the Clasico win.
They lost to Real Sociedad. And Real Sociedad beat Madrid in the cup.
Who's home?
They're playing at the Camp Nou. Barca's home. So who you guys got? Barca versus Sociedad.
I mean, I'll take Barca for sure. Yeah, I think you guys keep telling me they're amazing at home, so
I got Sociedad.
Definitely.
You got Sociedad at home?
Bounce back
or
game.
Away?
Yeah.
Oof.
I think they take a big shot to their morale to,
That's a big one, bro.
I think Sociedad's gonna do that thing that they do to like big clubs, where it's just like for the first time they don't win against this team or something. They beat them once, so there's something there that they can't get over.
I mean, I remember when your boy Vela was on there, they would always give Barca trouble. I felt like.
Yeah, and definitely Barca going to Anoeta is always Barca always struggle at Anoeta, right? And that's where they lost last, right?
Oh.
So I mean that's what against Sociedad, but I gotta believe that Barca bounces back. They're at home. This is it. They need something going in to the Champions League. So I'm gonna go Barcelona at home. Now we jump to the Sunday matches. Start in the Premier League. The Manchester Derby. We got
Who you-
United versus City at Old Trafford. So United's at home. Who you guys got? Is Manchester red or is Manchester blue?
Manchester's been blue for
Oh, yellow.
2
Yeah, here we go with
seasons.
this.
Look at this golazo, though. Oh!
So
Like
I got
a
City winning.
Andres, yeah, I didn't even have to ask there.
like a cucharada.
I mean, KDB is a possible, you know,
He's out. He might be out.
possible play, but
They got depth.
He might not play.
yeah, he might not play
They're at
for a
United.
shoulder injury. I mean, that could also mean they're keeping him fresh and not risking any injury because they need him for champions. I don't know. I think City has good momentum right now.
Well, so does United.
Yeah, I think the safest thing is a draw, but I don't know. Let me see some stats on this. not stats, but they're United's at home. See, I thought it was at,
Gallo scored a brace.
It's at Old Trafford.
but De Bruyne's not playing. This guy's saying crazy
Pogba
stuff.
might play.
Oh my God! Again with this.
They're saying he might.
I wanted to say City too, but I don't know anymore. They're on a good run, but it has to come to an end. It feels like for United.
So you got City.
Wait up, don't hold me to it yet. But if De Bruyne's not playing, this guy just. I'll go tie just because I hate City.
possible.
Yeah, tie.
I'll go draw just because I hate City. Love it. I'm going to go draw just because I think, City's obviously a tough opponent, and then United's just in a good moment right now. I can totally see Bruno Fernandes scoring in this match, right?
I'm telling you, they might win, but that's what I can't see. I'm not sure.
I'm going to go with Johnny, and I'm going to go with the draw here. Now, moving on to another Sunday thriller. This one has been postponed. We've been itching for this one. Juve versus Inter in Serie A with major implications. Lazio currently in first, Juve in second, Inter in third. Things are heating up there. Who you guys got? Granted, Juve's at home, but I don't think it'll really matter because they're playing behind closed doors. But who you guys got?
I got Inter still.
Yeah.
Last week, or the last time we picked these teams, I just think Inter has a lot more team spirit, team chemistry, a midfield, Pretty sure behind closed doors they're going to not easily, but it shouldn't be a surprise if Inter beat Juve.
I'll stick with my pick too, and Cristiano gets a hat trick.
Bold.
For sure. Every game.
To see the goal, but hat trick is bold. Oh man, this is a tough one. Tough one for me. Inter, what I'm concerned about for them is their other. So this match was postponed last week, and the match they had before that was postponed as well. So it's been a while since they played. We saw how Liverpool went out with an extended break, right? So I don't know, but also Conte plays the type of football where those players might need a rest. Maybe they got some players that recover.
Unless your boy comes up big,
I think. I think Inter knows they can't give up any more ground. They go for it all. They go for it all in this one, right? Honestly, and then Juve's coming off that Champions League loss to Lyon. It looks like Sarri doesn't know what's going on in the midfield there. I'm going to go with the draw.
I thought you were going to get ready to pick Inter.
No, it might seem like a cop-out, but, it's going to be hard to pick against Juve. It's hard to pick Juve against Juve at
You're
home.
almost convincing me to pick Inter, but...
And with that talent, but I don't know. It could go either way. I'm going to go with the draw. Now we drop to the Champions League on Tuesday. We're only going to pick one of the Tuesday games because the Valencia-Atalanta match is pretty much settled in Atalanta's favor. But crazier things have happened. So, RB Leipzig is at home against Spurs, and they have the away goal, the one crucial away goal at the moment. Who you guys got?
You already know
Are
me.
we picking who wins or who goes?
Got our... Who wins, bro?
Who wins the match? Yeah, that's actually a good question. But who wins the match?
But I mean,
so what you're saying is
'cause it-
Spurs wins the match, but Leipzig advances?
this is champions. This is what I'm asking them getting. Because you can win, but still crash.
Well, since we're keeping track of picks, we'll just do for the match.
Okay.
Just think that if you say Tottenham, they will pass.
No, yeah, I got RB.
Unless you don't want to be.
No, I got RB.
Okay.
All that for that.
No, I'm
That's
just,
really-
I'm just trying to
Just clarifying.
clarifying before we get,
You got RB too?
so we don't have to redo
Yeah.
these picks.
I think it's a clean sweep. I think
So
it's,
RB
they're
wins.
at home. Tottenham can't defend right now. Mo lost to Mojo.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think they bounce out.
Leipzig. All right.
Or
Now
they
we jump to Wednesday. These are the big ones, y'all. PSG versus Dortmund. They're playing at the Parc des Princes in PSG. Dortmund up 2-1 right now. Who goes through? Sorry. Who wins the
wins?
match?
I think, what was it, 2-1?
2-1.
Dortmund?
It was
Yeah.
2-1 in Dortmund, yeah.
So another 2-1 is extra time.
Yep.
If PSG win 2-1.
That's what I'm saying.
I got Dortmund winning.
I thought you were gonna
Don't
pick
even
PSG
know what
after
to do
everything you said,
anymore.
too.
No, I think PSG is the most likely big club to crash out.
Because they stay doing it at this stage, right?
Because they stay doing this, and I see really a lot of big question marks still on this team. Neymar probably is not going to live up to what he was brought in for. And I don't know, Mbappe can't. Maybe he could do himself, but there's just a lot of more refined talent, I think, at Dortmund all around as a team.
Who wins this match, Johnny?
I'll say PSG.
PSG. They
And-
win, and then you think they advance too?
Yeah, probably. And then I know I don't want to go back, but the other one kind of has upset on it because Tottenham has nothing left to play for, right? Without
yeah.
going too far back
Yeah, no
on
FA
it.
Cup,
They
If
need
they
to
don't, if they don't, like, I don't know.
their last competition.
They're gonna fight for top 4, I guess. But yeah, I didn't mean to go back, but no, I'll take PSG. I don't know. I just think they'll. I think they'll give up goals at home. It should be an open game, but I think. I like my boy Navas too, so I love him.
Dortmund's got a couple clean sheets now. They've been playing well defensively, which is something they're not known for. Man, PSG has been assembled almost strictly for this moment, right?
Yeah.
Why else get Neymar if you're not going to try to win the Champions League?
I mean, they just blew out Lyon, who.
Oh, man, this is a tough one.
Mbappe
for
had a
me.
really good
It's a
game.
tough one.
2 really good games.
I'm going to go PSG.
I think he had a
man.
hat trick. Didn't he have a hat trick?
I'm going against
True.
there's a lot of fibers in me that don't want to pick PSG just because I don't like freaking
You're going
PSG.
PSG
But
winning?
I'm going PSG. Seeing that Mbappe goal, Neymar's healthy.
No,
damn it.
and Sancho and Haaland.
Man, I like them too, but their defense is extremely liable. I feel like they've been in a good run in Germany, but
Yeah, I think Haaland is a little too young to be like the main.
I wouldn't be at
I
all.
think he continues.
shocked.
I think he continues.
This one is a toss up. I feel like.
Yes, it is a toss up, but
Man, and then the final one, another one.
I
tough
love
one.
upsets. I love upsets.
Yeah,
here's
this one's a
here's
hard one to
another.
pick.
Speaking of
upset.
upsets and people crying, Liverpool at home, down 1 goal to Atletico Madrid. Who you guys got at Anfield?
I think Liverpool wins, but they crash out.
But for the sake of us,
But for the sake of they win,
you got the win.
they beat Atletico.
So you're saying there's some scenario where they go
I think they
2-1 in the match?
Yeah, I think 2-1,
You're saying
a
Atletico
1-1,
scores at
or
Anfield? That's
a 1-0.
crazy.
1-0, and then they lose in extra times. So,
That's crazy. All right. What about
but most likely scenario is that Liverpool will be up 2-0 and Atletico scores 1 in dying moments.
the
Wait,
odds
what?
have
What
a
the fuck did you say?
62% chance of Liverpool winning?
Even at 1-0, Liverpool, Atletico just needs 1 goal.
What about you, Johnny?
But I still think Liverpool will do enough to win.
2-1.
I don't know. I
2-1, yeah,
I feel
2-1.
like
You gonna go with your vision?
I know that's what I really think is gonna
Premonition?
happen.
So, yeah,
But I think
do they draw or do they lose?
I don't know. Wait up, give me a second. It's gonna be tough.
I'm gonna
I
go-
want go for it. I don't know.
I'm gonna go Liverpool. I think they finally ended this little rough patch of 4 or 5 games. They get scoring again. They're at home in front of the cop. I think they advance.
So they win and they advance?
Yeah.
You see a 3-0?
I can see like a 2-0.
2-0 hold.
Yeah, I don't. 3 might be a lot. I can see like a 2-0. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll stick with my
No magic from João Felix?
premonition.
No.
I think they'll tie.
Then
No?
this occasion's too big for the lad. Anfield for the Champions League.
Who knows? Maybe a star is born.
I'm sorry.
Costa?
What did you say, Johnny?
A tie. I think they will
Draw.
tie. Yeah.
Tie and they crash?
Well, yeah.
I just don't see them clicking right now. I know that they're
0-0 or
I know
1-1,
that
they're out.
I know that they're at Anfield, but
Henderson's coming back, but I mean, will he be 100% fit?
Will Becker be there?
Will Becker be
yeah,
there?
that's the other thing.
You
I
know,
know they're at
won't be.
Anfield, but they're not playing like no scrub team. You know that is. Damn, I don't
It's
know.
Champions League, bro. I think someone's
I know. I do want to.
Someone's gonna lose on away goals. It's probably
I know,
gonna
but
be,
I do. I also don't. Yeah, Frankie has a point because it's like they're playing my boy Van Dijk, and he's been playing whatever, but he ain't about to come out here and get schooled by no punks. Yeah, I'll switch my pick to Liverpool.
Ooh.
Fuck this bullshit. I ain't picking no bitch ass Atletico.
to advance.
They're gonna try to just defend. Yeah, I feel like hopefully the
Not saying it's a style I like, but I mean,
hopefully
for the
the
sake of
cop will
tournament,
come through.
just like the Wanda did.
Yeah, I mean, but this is what the Champions League is made of: upsets and matchups.
The
But
champions.
I think there's just too much quality for all these players. It'll be a real stinker for Liverpool to be like, damn, we really just they're pulling a fucking Man City right now, where Pep just, even though Pep has never gotten eliminated this early, I think in the champs, right? But I digress. They won so much that it's like they could afford to lose more in hopes of being in a more informed moment, you know. But yeah, I'll go with Liverpool.
There you have it, y'all.
Liverpool winning.
Yeah, fuck my dreams.
There you go. That brings us to the end of this week's show. Thank you guys again. Those handful of you who were watching live. Those of you who were watching live, please tell your people about us. Share the link. Let them know. Those of you guys who see us later, do the same. Tell your people. Share the link. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Who's your favorite team? Who do you think is going to win the Champions League? Is Barcelona done? What's going on? Let us know. But again, thank you guys for your time.
Yeah.
Watch some MLS or Liga MX for free at least this weekend.
Yeah.
And
Around Fox.
Turn black the clocks or whatever.
Oh yeah, don't forget we're springing ahead on Sunday. Good call.
Or turn them forward, I guess.
Daylight savings here in the States. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Watch the matches. Keep watching us. Give us a like. Give the Full Heel Network and Full Heel Podcast a like because
there's some bangers
Rafa's
tomorrow.
awesome and lets us use his studio. Also, tomorrow on the Full Heel Network, look out for the companion. UFC 248, 2 championship matches. Very big matches. Yoel Romero versus Israel Adesanya for the middleweight belt. And we got Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus the champion Zhang Wei Li. So look out for that on the Full Heel Network.
Yeah.
Thanks again, y'all. Have a good night.
We out this
Peace.
bitch.
Yo.